One of my most popular video segments last year was when I did a top neighborhoods, worst neighborhoods, best appreciating neighborhoods, my neighborhood series of Fort Collins, Colorado. So jumping in 2022, we are going to look at the top neighborhoods of Fort Collins, Colorado. Our scoring criteria for these neighborhoods is a little bit different than we did in 2021, but very similar. We are going to look at how close the neighborhoods are to conveniences such as grocery, bars, restaurants, schools. And then we're going to look at what they're looking like historically on appreciation, home values. And then we're going to look at the rankings of the schools, elementary, middle, and high school. So those are going to be our criteria for ranking these neighborhoods. And we are really excited because, we know these neighborhoods really well. And there's just cool pockets of neighborhoods throughout Fort Collins. And these 6 neighborhoods are the top neighborhoods that we can talk about today in 2022. What's up, everybody? My name is Patrick Soukup with Soukup Real Estate Services here in Fort Collins, Colorado. And if you're new to the channel, we talk to you about everything there is to know about Fort Collins, Northern Colorado, eating, sleeping, top neighborhoods. And as much as we like making these real estate videos for YouTube, we like more working with buyers and sellers and investors. So give us a call, text, or email if you're looking at buy, selling, or investing. Without any further delay, let's jump into today's video, our top 6 neighborhoods in Fort Collins, Colorado in 2022. Let's go. Alrighty, in no particular order except moving from the southeast of Fort Collins to Old Town kind of area of Fort Collins, and starting with Kechter Farm in the southeast. This is going to be our newest development, built in 2015 and ended the building in around 2021. The builder was the Toll Brothers, and one of the things that distinguishes this is its pool and clubhouse area versus some of the other neighborhoods that we're going to look at. This kind of oasis clubhouse, really nice amenity for these neighborhoods, isn't seen too much in Fort Collins, but Kechter Farm has an extremely cool area that really distinguishes itself from the rest of the neighborhoods. On top of that, it is near some of the best schools in Fort Collins: Fossil Ridge, Kennard Core Knowledge, Preston, Bacon Elementary. Some of those are the top ranked in their respective elementary, middle school, or high school. Now, Kechter Farm is kind of separated into 2 separate areas. There's kind of a smaller lot and then a bigger lot, more pricey area. Some of our most expensive houses in Fort Collins you could find in Kechter Farm, but there are also some good affordable price points. Now, again, this is pretty far southeast, so if you're driving to the airport often, this is a great neighborhood to explore. Again, also very good schools, not super close to grocery or restaurants or bars, but there's a lot of development along that Harmony corridor. So looking into the future, Kechter Farms could be a really cool area with a lot of conveniences really close by. Alrighty, looking at some of the home stats for Kechter Farm. We have got a median sales price of $762,000. This is for the last 6 months, starting January 1st, 2022, year to date. A lot of the homes are going to be ranches or 2 stories with 3 bed, 2 bathrooms, and a 2-car attached garage. Again, these were built in 2018 as the median build date. And you're going to have about 3,500 square feet, 3,487 square feet, with a price per square foot of $252 per square foot. And these are going to be the smallest lot sizes. Again, this is a newer development, a newer build. So with that, the economics force these builders to have a smaller lot, bigger house footprint. So the first neighborhood on our list is Kechter Farm. All right, the second neighborhood is Fairway Estates. This is a super unique little neighborhood, kind of tucked away back behind 2 extremely busy roads in US 287, College Avenue, and Harmony Road. Just off of these roads is this really cool, quaint neighborhood. Not a ton of houses, but houses that are sitting on some pretty big lots, mid-century type feel vibe, and very well maintained. These houses were built in the late 1960s, and so again, they have this mid-century, mid-modern century look to them and feel. These are pretty much all exclusively ranches. You'll find some 2-story homes, but again, The lot sizes are huge, and you could very well also see some $2 million homes in this neighborhood, but also some homes that were built in the late 1960s and haven't been touched or remodeled since. So there are some cool opportunities. My wife and I, we looked at a couple of homes. It wasn't for us necessarily, but somebody with deep pockets who really want to renovate and have some really cool opportunities with that house could really be there. And again, very close to amenities. College Avenue and Harmony Road, there are some really great restaurants, and you are straight down 287 to Old Town Square, or hit Harmony Road to get I-25. So location is pretty awesome here. We are south of Harmony, east of College Avenue. All right, some homing stats over the last 6 months. Only 4 houses have sold over the last 6 months, but here they are. A median sales price of $768,000. These are ranch-style houses with 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and a 2-car attached garage. Built in the late 1960s, these houses are around 2,800 square feet and about $292 price per square foot. And again, this is going to be one of our largest lot neighborhoods that we are going to discuss today, sitting on close to 0.4 acres at 0.3 acres for the median acreage on these lots. So, number 2 neighborhood, Fairway Estates. And the 3rd neighborhood, and this one's close to my heart, as is the 4th neighborhood, but this one especially is close to my heart, Warren Shores. This is a really small neighborhood, and that's actually right where I grew up. I grew up right on Commodore Place, backing to Warren Woods, then to Warren Lake from there, and a really cool area. Now, really dead center of town. I think College and Drake is probably the center of town at this point, but this is Horsetooth and LeMay, and as Fort Collins continues to grow southeast, this feels more and more like a center part of town. So growing up, I could hop on my bike, ride to the Foothills Fashion Mall, which has been since completely remodeled, and actually will be remodeled again from the McQuinneys here shortly. But, decent schools, pretty good schools, centrally located, good public transportation options close nearby, conveniences for walking, not so much. Again, school is good, but the appreciation and home values are very, very strong because location is phenomenal. The one thing that's kind of weird about this neighborhood is there's a lot of bi-level, tri-level, 2-story, and ranches. I grew up in a ranch, but there are a lot of kind of funky Cape Cod-y type bi-level, tri-level looking type houses. And one thing that's cool about this neighborhood too is how much green space there is, and green belts, and the opportunity to jump and hop on the trail that really will take you all the way around Warren Lake. I ran that trail growing up, and it's kind of a cool thing. You kind of run along this trail, and then you run through the landings, and then back up Horsetooth. And I found myself getting a good mile or so, mile and a half run in, whenever I wanted to, with some really cool, phenomenal views. Alrighty, housing statistics. Over the last 12 months, 5 houses have sold. Median sales price, $667,500. Again, these are bi-level, tri-level, multi-level houses, or 2-story ranches. They're kind of a mixed pot here. 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms with a 2-car attached or detached garage. There's some definite detached garages, and there's some attached garages as well. Built in the 1970s, this is going to be one of our smaller square footage neighborhoods at just over 1,900 square, or just under 2,000 square feet, 1,997 square feet, and $334 per square foot, and sitting on, again, a smaller lot size, 0.17. Now this sits on Horsetooth, really close to Horsetooth Road, and a lot of these lots are quite small. So you do have some larger lots, but a lot of them are quite small because it's a smaller neighborhood, smaller subdivision. So there you have it, Warren Shores, our 3rd neighborhood, again, moving north. All right, neighborhood number 4, Indian Hills. Now this is traditional Fort Collins neighborhood. This was developed by Bob Everett. The CSU Real Estate School is named after him, the Everett Real Estate School. And he's kind of the godfather, the grandfather of real estate development in Northern Colorado and Fort Collins, especially kind of these bigger developments, Indian Hills, Parkwood, to name a couple of traditional Fort Collins neighborhoods. Indian Hills, located just kind of on the north side of Fort Collins, but still south of Prospect. So you'd still consider it south, technically, based off of the parameters that we set on College Avenue and Prospect Road. But that being said, it feels very, very close to obviously the hospital right there that's nearby. You're close to Old Town, probably a 5 to 7 minute drive, if that. You can hop on Spring Creek Trail and take that all the way to Old Town if you wanted to, and jump on the Mason Trail from there. But really just a very mature neighborhood. Lots of good solid sized trees, good lot sizes. One of the most interesting things about this neighborhood that I see is there's no HOA. So that being said, there can be some positives and negatives with that. You might have a big Silver Streamer or whatever, Streamliner RV, or you might have a big boat sitting next to you in the yard, or in the neighbor's yard or driveway. But that being said, the neighborhood is very, very well taken care of, very manicured, and tons of these houses have been renovated. And you can find some low $1 million houses, $1 to $1.4 million houses, but a lot of these will be, right between $750 to $1 to $1.25 million. Probably one of our more expensive neighborhoods on the list that we're going to talk about today. So here are some housing stats over the last 6 months. 6 homes have sold. Median sales price of $934,000. These are mostly ranch-style houses with some 2-story in there. 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house with a 2-car attached garage, built in the late 1960s. These are bigger houses, around 3,500 square feet, with a price per square foot of a better value than some of the other neighborhoods that we looked at, but $243 per total square foot, and sitting on some pretty big lots. 0.34 acres. Alrighty, our second to last top neighborhood. And again, these are not in any particular order. We just moved from the southeast to the north. And whatever your vibe is in Fort Collins, I think that's what might dictate for you what is more important. Again, we talked about what the kind of scoring parameters were at the beginning of the video, but jumping into our 5th neighborhood, Circle Drive. Now, this is probably our smallest subdivision next to Warren Shores, but really kind of a unique, quaint little neighborhood. Again, it's called Circle Drive for a reason. It is a circular road with kind of one cutting through it. Lake Avenue, I believe. It's either Lake Avenue or Lake Street, I think. But this is a really small neighborhood with many ranch-style houses, red brick ranches. This is super close to both Old Town and CSU. So if you are a professor that loves to go get a cup of coffee, you want to walk to school, you can do that, and then you could ride your bike down to Old Town and get a cup of coffee. So the location is pretty awesome as far as that goes. So yeah, it's just south of Old Town and just to the east of Colorado State University. This is kind of in a you wouldn't consider this downtown necessarily. You would consider this more midtown, but that being said, you are just a quick bike ride across Mulberry to get to downtown. And again, a neighborhood that's transitioning. It is pretty expensive. So let's jump into some housing stats over the last 6 months. And over the last year. There have been 4 houses that have sold, a median sales price of $797,000. These are generally ranch-style houses with a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house and a 2-car attached garage. Built in the late 1940s, 1,950 square feet with one of our highest, actually I believe our highest price per square foot as far as neighborhoods go at $400 per square foot. And just under 0.2 acres at 0.19 acres for Circle Drive, our 5th neighborhood. All right, and finally, jumping into our last neighborhood. Now, when I did neighborhoods in 2021, I left out this area because it was just kind of, it's unique. It's not really a neighborhood. There are subdivisions, but it's kind of all combined together in this downtown area. You could maybe, and I did, divide it to east and west downtown Fort Collins. So today I did not leave out downtown Fort Collins in my top neighborhoods. So Old Town East or Loomis, Scott Sherwood, or Capitol Hill, these neighborhoods are definitely a place to be desired, especially if you want to be close to all the amenities, all the things that downtown has to offer. City Park, close to CSU, the Lincoln Center if you like to go to plays, and on Mulberry. So if you got to get close to I-25, you can jump on Mulberry and get there pretty quickly. There are a lot of business opportunities, and as well as zoning that allows for the building of ADUs on your property if you have a large enough lot, which is a big push for Fort Collins. And even the current mayor has suggested that she really wants to deregulate the ability to build ADUs so that we can add more density to Old Town. But Old Town east of 287, US 287, is really between Mulberry all the way up to Vine, and then Shields to Taft, and Shields to College Avenue. That kind of is encompassing what we're looking at as far as Old Town East. Schools, solid. Putnam, Dunn Elementary, Lincoln Middle School, not so hot, and Pooter High School, again, not the best, but if your kid is in an IB program, probably the only IB program in Fort Collins. These are some of our oldest houses, but definitely some of our most desired. And along that Mount Avenue near Beaver's Market, one of our only locally owned grocery stores, and the Little and restaurants. So, the list goes on of why this is such a great neighborhood. It could be debated if it's a great area to raise a family, but you do you. And if you like that vibe and want the ability to not have to drive your car, really probably from anytime after February to beginning of December. You might have to get in your car every now and again to get through some snow, but generally speaking, if you're working and want to work from remotely from a coffee shop or anything like that, you have the ability to very, very easily. So let's jump into some housing statistics for Old Town. Median price, $850,000. These are ranch or two-story homes, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, with a 1-car detached garage, built in the 1920s, around 2,022 square feet, and $392 per square feet total finished. And actually a little bit bigger lots, 0.22 acres, so not too bad. Again, you'd want to look at to see maybe could we build an ADU looking at the zoning. But, Old Town East, Loomis, Scott Sherwood, Capitol Hill, these are all really good areas, very highly desired, and lots of people want to be in Old Town, whether you're retired, single, dating, married, have a family. It definitely serves a lot of different purposes and puts you right in the heart of all the action. So there you have it, everybody. The top 6 neighborhoods in Fort Collins in 2022. Definitely had a couple that were very close to home. Indian Hills with my granddad living there, grandparents living there in the 1960s and up to present day. And Warren Shores with my family, growing up there. But all of the neighborhoods that we discussed today are definitely pretty solid. So if you want any more details about any of those specifically, the list could really be another 20 long that we could talk about, for different reasons or another, that maybe one scored a little bit higher or lower than another. So, feel free, reach out. We can talk to you about the top 20 neighborhoods in Fort Collins and maybe allow you some opportunity to go explore areas that you and your family or you and your partner really might want to move to here if you're considering Northern Colorado. And again, if you're looking at buying, selling, or investing, give us a call, text, or email. We'd love to help out. Take care.